Crackdown 3 launched a little bit over a month ago on a very packed February 15th for $60 and is part of your subscription to Xbox Game Pass. And we haven't heard anything about how well it's done since then. Microsoft has been quiet about the sales figures as well as any stats related to the game. Normally we receive something like, hey agents, everybody has collected 10 billion orbs. We haven't even got that. But now we actually have some information from the NPD Group, who just released their sales results for February 2019. And it's not looking very good for Crackdown 3 at all. It looks like a complete and utter flop on the retail space. What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and maybe subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. I would greatly appreciate it. Oh, Crackdown 3, going back to the well on this one, huh, Rand? Well, it's because there is something to be talked about here. Yes, Crackdown 3 looks like to be a complete flop. Nobody seems to have bought it retail or digital for $60. And I do have to question if that's because of Xbox Game Pass or if people just really weren't feeling Crackdown 3. So let's get into the actual facts and we'll get into the discussion part right after. Matt Piscatella, great analyst from the NPD, make sure you follow him on Twitter. He put out the top 20 best-selling games of February 2019. And you can look through the list, I'll throw it up on screen. Anthem #1, Jump Force 2, Kingdom Hearts 3, Far Cry New Dawn, Red Dead Redemption 2, Resident Evil 2. You can see it there. Metro Exodus at number 8, Mario Bros. U Deluxe at number 11, Grand Theft Auto 5 at 13, all the way down to number 20, Marvel's Spider-Man, which was an exclusive PlayStation 4 game, at number 20. You know what you don't see on this list, unfortunately, for Microsoft and Xbox? Well, you don't see Crackdown 3 whatsoever. Didn't even make the top 20. Okay, fair enough. It was in Game Pass. It's also $60, and in my review I said, that game ain't worth $60. That game is $30. It seems like the perfect game for Game Pass. One of those things where it's like, hey, what do you really want to watch on Netflix? I don't know, just pick a movie. It's kind of that. Oh, what do you want to play tonight? I don't know. Oh, Crackdown 3, let's play that. Just kind of a time waster, you know, before you get into something else. But it gets worse. Not being in the top 20, potentially understandable. A lot of great games on that list. Even though there are some games that came out at the end of last year, like Spider-Man, Madden, Rainbow Six Siege, a game that came out in 2015. So it's like, okay, potentially understandable why Crackdown wouldn't be there. But we also get the top 10 for just strictly Xbox games. And before anybody asks, yes, this includes the full physical and digital sales. So this is anybody that bought the game retail or bought it on the Xbox store for $60. And look at that list for top 10 on Xbox One. Anthem, Jump Force, Far Cry New Dawn, Red Dead Redemption 2, Kingdom Hearts 3, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, NBA 2K19, Resident Evil 2 2019, Metro Exodus, Grand Theft Auto 5. Where, oh where is Crackdown 3 on the Xbox only list? It's not in the top 10. How is that even possible? How does Crackdown 3, a game 5 years in development, a game which Microsoft and Matt Booty, Phil Spencer wanted it to be a pillar alongside Gears of War and Halo. How did it not even sell enough to reach the top 10? That is mind-blowing to me. I thought for sure, oh, maybe it wouldn't make the top 20. Even though Sea of Thieves sure did in its release month, came in at number 2. Even though State of Decay 2 hit number 1 on the NPD chart when it released May of last year. Even though Forza Horizon 4, a racing game, even though it is a highly rated racing game, that still made the top 20 in November or October of last year, which I think it placed at around 7. It's all so interesting because Crackdown 3, you would think, would at least, at the very minimum, place in the top 10 on Xbox. And it didn't. Even though the other exclusives from Xbox all placed within the top 10, with one being number 1 and another one being number 2, wow, did Crackdown 3... I guess the question is, did anybody care about Crackdown in the first place? Should they have even made a sequel? Did the drawn-out development of the game affect people's perception and desire to buy the game? And how about the marketing? It was basically non-existent for Crackdown 3. Did Microsoft know what they had in their hands and they didn't even bother to advertise it because they knew nobody would buy it? What about placing it at that release date of February 15th alongside games like Jump Force and Far Cry New Dawn, and a week before Anthem, the same day as Metro? It was buried among everything. But did Microsoft know that nobody really wanted it and that's why they kept it at that date? What about the reviews? They were absolutely awful, coming in at about a 60 on Metacritic. Did that turn people off the game? Or do you know what? Is it as simple as everybody looked at Crackdown 3, saw the price tag, saw that Wrecking Zone multiplayer that was very, very much downgraded from those initial reveals back in 2015, and the trailers for the campaign, and just thought to themselves, this isn't worth $60. Did everybody who thought about buying the game decide to actually play this on Xbox Game Pass? Maybe that's the correct answer. Maybe everybody who normally would buy something decided, you know what, I'm not wasting my money on this. There's other games to play. I'll play it in Xbox Game Pass. And that's why I would really like to know how many people actually played Crackdown 3 through Game Pass. Because every conversation I've had with people on Xbox Live, through the messages I get, or in party chat, or talking to gamers here on Twitter, or in a podcast, nobody said they were buying Crackdown 3 for $60. Everybody's answer was, I'm going to play it, but I'm going to play it through Xbox Game Pass. It was pretty much saying, yeah, the game is not going to be very good, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to get it for $10. Which I get, but that didn't happen with Sea of Thieves. It didn't happen with State of Decay 2. It surely didn't happen with Forza Horizon 4. And you know what? I'll make a bet right now with everybody watching this video. I fully expect Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Ori 2, to be in the top 20 NPD whenever that game launches. It'll be in the top 10 for Xbox-only titles. Guaranteed. The same thing for Gears 5. When that game comes out, it'll be in the top 10 Xbox, and it'll damn well be in the top 20. It'll probably be in the top 5 whatever month that comes out. So here you have this Crackdown 3 situation, more than likely an anomaly. Every other single game, an Xbox exclusive that launched, actually performed well on NPD, except for Crackdown 3. And I just have to wonder, was this done on purpose by Microsoft? Did they maybe know what they have on their hands? A stink bomb, a game that nobody really wanted to buy, so they priced it really high to get people to dive into Xbox Game Pass. Because like I said, there's no way Crackdown 3 is worth $60. And I understand why they had to charge that amount for it. 5 years of development, changing teams, people coming and going, I get it. But, I mean, every time you saw someone retweet something about Crackdown 3 from Phil Spencer and Mike Ybarra and the brass at Xbox, it was about how the subscription service was changing how people play games, that it was just made available to people, and that reviews don't really matter and game sales don't matter because Crackdown 3 just became available. And it's just, I'm thinking about it, and I'm honestly shocked. I'm shocked that it didn't make the top 10 of Xbox. Like, that's why I'm making this video, because I am shocked. I can't understand the reasons why it didn't make the top 10. Is this a case of the Xbox community not supporting the game? I mean, not that I would blame them because the game is not that good to begin with, but all the other things we can draw from previous exclusives on Game Pass, they all made the list. Maybe was it because Sea of Thieves and State of Decay were at the infancy of Game Pass, so the adoption rates were lower, and now a year later they're a little bit higher, so less people are going to buy Crackdown 3? I'm not really so sure, because I expect Ori 2 and Gears 5 to sell a lot. And you know what? I guess that's something to look out for. If Ori 2 doesn't make the top 20, and if Gears doesn't make the top 20, then you might be able to say the Game Pass adoption rates are getting to the point where people would much rather not buy the game and get it in Game Pass than actually spend $60 on it. But I don't think that's going to happen, like I said. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm shocked right now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Crackdown 3 flopping hard sales-wise. Did you guys expect this? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, share this out on social media, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and hit that notification bell if you always want to be notified when I drop new content. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.